Hello guys and welcome to the first episode of Football Monks. I'm with Rohit, Dikshit and Romil and today we are going to discuss about the season preview for apparently the biggest club in Manchester, that is Manchester United. So let's just start with Rohit. What do you think about the upcoming season for Manchester United?
I think United are definitely going to be strong top four contenders for this season. That's for sure, given the good run they had post January after signing Bruno, and then also after COVID. I think they were fantastic for the squad and the number of players United have that Ole can sort of trust upon. I think there's a lot of positives, but I think to move to the next level, United definitely need to sign a backup fullback, maybe a first choice centre back, and of course everyone knows Jadon Sancho or someone really strong on the right wing is definitely needed. So I think United are strong top four contenders for this season, but I don't think they are going to be close to winning the title at least until the next season when they make a few signings and strengthen the squad further. So yeah, they should look for a top four finish. That should be the goal.
Yes. With respect to the squad, what say Dikshit? I mean, you're a Chelsea fan and the squad which Chelsea have been building. Are United up for it to at least match them?
So looking at the form and playing style post lockdown, United has been phenomenal. We have to give it to Ole and the squad work they have done, and especially with the arrival of Bruno, this is we can say United 2.0 or the style of play is what United fans were craving since post Ferguson era. So right now we are seeing what United really are. And definitely as Rohit mentioned, United will need to strengthen the squad, and I believe they will get Sancho. Maybe on the last day they will throw in the money, whatever they have in the coffers. They will definitely get him, and getting Sancho will really transform United altogether to a new level. But yes, with the games crammed up, virtually playing every 3 days, cup games and Champions League coming in, United will have to rely a lot on rotation, and the young ones like the Greenwood will have to step up. Someone like Lindelof and Maguire will have to keep it tight, and maybe a fullback, because Shaw is injury prone, so maybe a left back as rumored Regulion. Maybe we can see him coming in.
Right. As you mentioned about the squad depth and fringe players maybe need to come off the bench and perform. United have signed Van der Beek. Romil, what are your thoughts, on Van der Beek and maybe other players who might come on the bench? United is interested in Regulon.
For me, I think it is very imperative for Manchester United to strengthen the playing 11. They need to have a very strong playing 11, just like Liverpool. Liverpool don't have a bigger squad, but their playing 11 is such a great one, which perfectly suits the Klopp system. They are doing it since the last two seasons. So now getting a player who is not going to be a starter for at least 30-35 games, so it does not make sense. And you certainly need a very big right winger in Jadon Sancho, who is a sure starter irrespective of his form. And same goes with the centre back. So if you ask me right now, looking at the squad signings like they be maybe Regulian, who may be a competition to Luke Shaw, but he won't start above Luke Shaw for each and every game. So I think United won't improve. Maybe they will just back each other, back other players. So I think again this season a top four finish is will be the goal of United. I don't see them being a title contenders and challenging it for the title this time around.
Is United missing a trick by not going for a centre back? I mean, they have cooled down their efforts. Is it something which always is going wrong? I mean, definitely when compared to others, Van Dijk and maybe if City also get Koulibaly, they are like one season wonders and they'll get the trophy for you for that season. I mean, they are so important. So is United by not going for a centre back doing something wrong?
I think United need to have experienced players right now in their squad. Manchester City squad, Liverpool squad are very matured, and I can say the same for Spurs. So now, instead of buying, maybe they were linked with the Arsenal signing Gabriel, they were even linked with Pau Torres. So these guys will take a bit of time, a season or two, to get settled. So whatever United have been linked, are all young players, good for the future maybe, but you need an immediate signing like Van Dijk came for Liverpool, Koulibaly coming and being a replacement for Vincent Company if that transfer materializes. So yes, they definitely need someone to partner Harry Maguire and to be the first choice. But there are hardly anyone available in the market apart from Koulibaly, and I doubt Manchester United will be shelling that 75 million odd which is required to sign Koulibaly because there are other attacking positions where United wants players.
Right. As you mentioned about attacking, Marshall had a great season last year. I mean, even before COVID and after COVID, yeah, he was injured before COVID, but then post COVID, he was in sensational form. And he, along with Bruno Fernandes, paired up beautifully, to get United those goals, which, the style of play which United was craving for. So, what are your thoughts on Marshall, especially, when Rashford, suffered from poor form just after a injury, which was, very difficult, a back injury, it's very difficult to recover from.
So I think Marshall has had a fantastic season. I think he was injured for a month or a little over a month during November at the beginning of the season. But I think before and after that, he's adapted very well to that number 9 role. And towards the end of the season, he was doing a great job holding up play as well and also getting past defenders and scoring goals, tap ins. He scored a great header against Chelsea, I think, at Stamford Bridge. So he's got the attributes for that. But I think United, I don't know if this summer in this transfer window they're going to do that, but definitely in January or the next summer window, they need to sign someone who's going to challenge him so that because I don't see anyone else at the club pushing him because if we sign Sancho, then Greenwood might push him because Greenwood is also a centre forward, but he's too young to push him on a consistent basis. So I think, but I don't think signing a centre forward is the priority now, and United have to really rely on Martial this season. So I think he'll have a decent season. He'll score 15 to 20 goals in the Premier League. I feel, which
Right.
with United's current forward line and Bruno also chipping in with goals, I think should be enough. Yeah.
So United is right now, targeting the midfield area with the signing of Van der Beek and, maybe interested in Thiago as per the reports. How do you see Dixit that the midfield will operate? Given Pogba, who has some difficulty with a
Right.
deeper role and we want him to play as much as ahead. But of course with Bruno over there, you know, it's difficult to, fit in. And people say that a double pivot with work, but I don't know. I don't know how Ole is going to proceed with that.
Yeah, so definitely United will go with three in the middle with Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, or if Sancho arrives, these three being the attacking up front. And as mentioned, since Scholes retired, I think United have tried and tested many world class and potential midfielders such as Schweinsteiger, Fred, Matic, Mata. God knows so many midfielder came and went, and they have tried to pair up with Pogba, but none of them clicked. Finally, Bruno arrives and United open ups like, oh my God, this is something we wanted to see post Sir Alex Ferguson and has been doing good. So now bringing in Van der Beek, adds another dimension to the game. Van der Beek is someone who can create game from deep or maybe, arrive at the edge of the box and pop in a few goals. At the same time, he can spray long balls, create small passes and create small triangles, which were very famous during Wenger's era in Arsenal, but he created something like that with De Jong in Ajax. Maybe Pogba has all the skill set to replicate the same with him at United. So we can see, Van de Beek adding altogether a different dimension, and I expect him to play a deeper role alongside Pogba with Bruno up front in number 10.
What does Pogba needs to do more? I mean, he's surely going to sign a new contract, as Mino Raiola said. But what does he needs to do more to make United, a really challenging for the title?
So
I
So
think
what
we have,
I so
yeah, sure,
what I
go
can
ahead.
say just for the part is try to be fit for 30 plus games a season because we haven't seen Pogba doing that for a very long time. Let's not get into the performances because he's a world class player. A fit Pogba with a good team around him and say a fit team around him. I think that makes him a world class player altogether. So first thing I think if he's lucky with the injuries and he does not get much injured and plays around 25-30 starts in the EPL, bar rotation, I think it will be fantastic for Manchester United in the midfield.
It's a trivial question right now. Should De Gea stay for one more season and get him off the next season, or keep him continue even if Henderson plays well? So is it keep or dump De Gea, Rohit?
See, I think Ole is going to definitely give him a chance. I think for the first part of the season this year, and he's been United's best player for quite a few years now, and he deserves that chance. And I think if he starts playing at the level he was previously playing, you are not going to find anything better than that. I can I can tell you. And you look at Manuel Neuer now; he is revived as well. So things like that can happen. People had written Neuer off. People were like, Ter Stegen should now definitely play for Germany, and now no one wants Ter Stegen. Everyone is like Neuer is back.
Yeah.
So these phases in a goalkeeper's career can definitely come. So I think if Daya starts playing well, then I don't see and starts playing if he starts playing anywhere close to where he was 2 years back, then I don't see Dean Henderson staying next summer. But if Daya or drops the ball again, then I think he's leaving. So this is his last chance, that's for sure. And this is a make or break sort of a phase for Daya coming up, maybe at Manchester United.
Right. As per you, Dixit, should he stay,
So
or is it
there's something
unfair
which
on, or is it unfair on Henderson?
yo No, so there's an interesting point which I noticed about Deya is that he's not that vocal about the legendary goalkeepers have been, for example, a Peter Cech, Van der Sar, or Joe Hart. You can hear them screaming, shouting while setting up their defenses for a dead ball, or asking the centre forward to go ahead and clear the ball. We don't see that more often from De Gea. That has been an issue with him, and with someone like Harry Maguire coming in, marshalling the defense, giving the leadership attributes there. I think Dia has a good chance to show what he's capable of during this season. Maybe last two seasons were a bit of making a certain error and allowing people to score some easy goals. But I think Dia will do much better this season. And coming on to Henderson, this season he should be contented with the bench role, playing cup games or a few unimportant games. But I think he should stay contented with that. And if Dia falters, definitely Dean Henderson is going to come up, because if we see the financials, United are shelling out about 500,000 per week on goalkeepers. That is a
Right.
big amount to be given to goalkeepers. So I think Henderson should stay content with bench role. Maybe next season he can compete with Dea, but this season Dea is all the way out there.
What about you, Romil?
So I think he's a club legend for sure. He has been the main savior for United a few seasons back, and not one season, for a couple of seasons. So I think it is unfair on him to just cut him loose when he's not at his best. And United won't do that, certainly. And they have got a very good keeper in Henderson who will challenge him. And let's see, United can get a better advantage of competing with each other, will make best out of both of them. So I think it's a good situation not to worry much about, because it's not like now United have a weak spot there. They can easily replicate David De Gea and get a very good goalkeeper. So it is fine on player per se, but it does not impact Manchester United much. They have rather strengthened that position, in my opinion. So I'll say from a Manchester United purview, it is a very good move to have both of them. One has experience, one has the youth in form with them. So yeah, but they will be rotated definitely for cup games, as well as like league and cup will be shared between them.
Right. So United don't play till 12 days from now. United have got the first fixture on the 19th of September. I guess it's away to Crystal Palace. So, how should United line up? Of course, as all of us have agreed, Daya should start in goal. How do you see the defense shaping up? And Van Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, and Luke Shaw, if he's fit, or Brandon Williams. And if Regulon comes in, then maybe he. But he also suffered an injury last game during Spain. So how do we see over that?
So, assuming everyone is fit, and I think I'm not sure, very sure about how the COVID protocols are in UK because many of the players will be coming, so they have to isolate themselves or quarantine and everything, and then it depends on how many training sessions they get before the game. So, I think it should be the same lineup that was there in the last, like post restart, which got them the highest success with Van Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Lindelof, DDG, and if Luke Shaw is fit, then Luke Shaw. Maybe Van de Beek does not get a game, Matic, Paul Pogba, as well as Bruno Fernandes, and the regular three of Greenwood, Martial, and Rashford, assuming everyone is fit in training and
So you
doing
are
well.
saying that Sancho will not come.
So this is a very good question that I wanted to pop to two Manchester United fans with us, Rohit and Keyur. So it was a very hot Sancho thing, and now it has gone a bit cold. So if not Sancho, how do you even think Manchester United should line up? But let's have the team news first, and then we can pop up this transfer question.
So Rohit, according to you, how should United line up?
Rohit is on mute, I guess.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be the regular lineup with Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood up front, Bruno behind them, Matic and Pogba play. I think if they are fit, and I think the defense picks itself. I think United don't need. There's not a lot to pick and choose and think over there. I think Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw, and Van Bissaka. And I think Daya starts in goal. So yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the starting 11. You might see McTominay start in place of Matic. You never know. Ole is a big fan of McTominay. We know that, and he
Uh,
might give him a few chances this season. But I don't think so. That'll happen early in the season, and I think it'll happen when Ole is trying to manage Matic's workload and things like that. Yeah,
for
but
you,
yeah.
Dixit, how is anything different, or it's more of the same?
I think it is more of the same. We can see United going the same way they played post lockdown and continue the same manner. Van de Beek's arrival changes a bit for someone like McTominay or Mattis. They will have to get more of bench role now because Van de Beek is someone who is not afraid to put in hard tackles, run between the channels and intercept the ball. So maybe lesser role of Matic, but obviously McTominay will look to capitalize on Matic's declining age and make a place for himself in the squad. Also, I see a lot of Fred playing because a lot of United fans and are not keen on Fred, but I see Fred playing a pivotal role this season because the games are so close to each other. Once again, stressing on that point, virtually a game every 3 days. Someone like Fred, who is hard with the tackles, doesn't leave the ball to easy plays, physical game, and can run at the same pace in the first minute of the will come in handy for United. So I
That's
think
fine.
Fred will start first few games.
So coming to Romel's question about Sancho, see,
Yeah.
you asked about alternatives. 3 weeks back, there were Douglas Costa and many more wingers, even Chiesa. They are good players, but I don't want Douglas Costa. He is already reaching 29 or 30, and a lot
Correct.
of injuries for him. And, and
Yes.
for Ole, he wants players who wants to play for Manchester United. If you get in Douglas Costa, he is going to cost you wages a lot, and then
Yes.
the performance is not over there. He's not been performing well in Juventus also. That's why they want to ship him home. Rather than get in Sancho, he'll definitely, there's the 1-2 game between Martial and Sancho and the entire forward line which he can easily fit in. And Ole is definitely trying his best, but with Woodward at the helm, it gets difficult for United fans, for the transfer. I think Rohit
But
has a different view on this.
uh, what?
No, I think Sancho is the one. I don't think there is any alternatives United should look at right now because he perfectly fits what he's actually the missing kind of player that we need, right? Who is ready to take on players inside the from wide areas. United don't have a lot of players who do that. Most of United's wingers they cut back in, but Sancho is someone who will dribble wide as well, and he'll put in a few crosses. He's good at coming in the box and giving you know a pass across the goal as well. So I think Sancho is the only player maybe United could have looked at was Jude Bellingham, but Dortmund have signed him as well. So now United have to go all in for Sancho. I don't think there's a lot of options. United have tried too many you would say mediocre and okay options where they've been doubtful, but this is the player United are sure about, and I think they should not look elsewhere. Yeah.
So
I
any
guess this
other
answers Romel.
positions? Yeah, that is fine. Everyone knows Sancho is like a mold fit, like he will fit like a glove
Yeah, he's
within this
tailor-made
Manchester
for
United.
United.
Yeah, it's he's made for United. We can say that. But assuming the COVID market and seeing Manchester United not giving out 120 in the first instance makes you a bit unsure about Sancho coming to United at least in this window. So if the United don't have, if the plan does not work, you don't have the money for this window. Maybe where do you see Dixit United should improve? Seeing they have got the keeper situation sorted and they have got an additional player in the midfield.
Yeah, so they are stacked in the midfield attack with the youth and the legs of Martial and Rashford along with Greenwood doing good. So I think the only situation they have to answer is a centre back. Someone like
That's right.
Harry Maguire and Lindelof doing good. But an additional centre back, probably a left-footed one, will not hurt United, but only help them in the long run. So maybe defense is the only place they need to find a solution.
But KO will always say the Ole words that United has 7 centre backs and United is not looking for a centre back. So
You won't
KO, do
be
you
shocked.
remember
You
that?
won't be shocked. As per rumors today, Rojo has impressed Solskjaer in the
Oh my
in the
God.
practice in the warm up. I am
I
shocked.
think
How are they even thinking? So see, there's where I think that United has given up on signing up a left-footed centre back. If he's trying to
that's
get in
true.
Rojo over there, then it's again a topsy-turvy ride. He's a walking red card
That's
for
true.
me.
Again, there are hardly any options left for the right price, for the right profile that United want. United want an instant fix. So if you need to have a like someone who is very experienced, and Pau Torres is one, Gabriel was another, I guess. But there are hardly any who match the profile. I think in high big profile signings. So yeah, might as well we see Rojo, maybe someone else, maybe Smalling does not leave or someone like that in the centre back position to just have an extra player. You never know.
Okay, guys, it was a great discussion. So let's just end up with the predictions of where United will finish. And I want concrete answers, not top four or something. Just give me a position
Okay.
number. Rohit,
I think third or fourth. Yeah.
Dixit,
I will go with United at number 4. United at number 4.
Romel,
United at number 5. I think the other teams are looking very strong, and which we will cover in the next episodes. So I can justify why I'm saying United at number 5.
I'll go with United at number 3.
What is your
They are
take, Kevin?
definitely strengthening. And I guess Ole has done well till now. And of course, with the right signings, he can do more better for the team. So thanks, guys, for joining in for the first episode of Football Monk. We'll come back with another episode with another team for the English Premier League. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.